At this time, when the world is watching with fear the developments at Japan's Fukushima nuclear power plant, experts seek comparisons and examples in the past to maybe help foresee the future. Analysts tell us it's not yet Chernobyl, but very comparable to another tragic accident which occurred in the United States in 1979 at the 3 Mile Island power plant, which is part of the state of Pennsylvania. And now I'm joined by Dick. Well, first of all, what do you think about the comparison?
Well,
sir, what happened at the 3 Mile Island was a partial core meltdown in one of the reactors. How bad were the consequences back then? How costly was that?
Well,
the news coming from the Fukushima power plant is pretty scary. We heard about several explosions at the plant. Your assessment, how critical is the situation in Japan right now? Sir, the 3 Mile Island accident happened over 30 years ago, and are we supposed to think that the Japanese now like that than you were back in 1979 or the Soviets were in 1986 when Chernobyl happened? Sir, talking about Japan's handling of the situation, the Japanese experts decided to flood the reactors with an improvised flow of marine muck, as I understand it, right? And many saw it as a desperate move coming from a nation that is considered to be one of... People are asking whether Japan's contingency planning for disaster is really as good as everyone thought it was. Exactly, that's what I wanted to ask you about. I mean, people are now looking at Japan and thinking, if Japan is struggling, what happens if a disaster like that hits another country with a power plant but not as technologically advanced? Do you think people's fears are legitimate? We heard about 40,000 people, who took to the streets in Germany, for example, to protest nuclear energy. Similar actions took place in other countries. They want to ban it. Do you think that's the way to go?
Well, there have been...
What do you think the repercussions will be on the nuclear policies of the governments of the U.S., the European Union, China? Sir, considering how much is at stake, basically a huge industry, do you think we're getting the whole truth about what's going on, based on your experience?
I suspect that the...
Well, you did also write about this fiction and facts aspect of in the coverage of disaster like this, referring, of course, to the 3 Mile Island accident. What do you think the proportion is going to be?
It's the single biggest challenge of emergency management is getting... You're in trouble.
Thank you so much.